go ahead and have hands to heart center. Taking a breath in and exhale. Interlace fingers, press palms forward and then press palms up. So shoulders like to hike up. Draw the shoulders down so there's some space between shoulder and ear. Yep. And look up. And then arms out to the sides, hands behind the back, clasping hands. And you know, those of you who are in person, I'm trying to speak loudly so they can hear. It's a little hard to have the mask on. Reach up, look up. And then side bend, reaching up and over. Keep your sitting bones down as you reach up and over. And you can move around a little bit. Look down, look ahead of you, look upward. And the other way, reaching up. Inhale and come over. Moving your neck, moving your head. Deep breath in. Exhale. Good. And then releasing. And we'll come forward. So coming forward a little bit. Because I get distracted with setting up and trying to get music for the group. I'll talk about the dedication in a moment. So we're gonna come up and then reverse your leg crossing. Reverse. And once again, reach up, interlace fingers, press palms upward. And then come forward. And stretching your back. So as you're stretching, I'll say, today's class is dedicated to forest and wilderness. And then let's go ahead and come up. We're gonna go wide. And I thought of the dedication through the big circles. Because last week I was in Sahihan. And last weekend. And I just thought about forest and wilderness and how incredibly healing it is. And I know some people don't live in such a green environment as we do, with hiking like not so far off, forest not so far off, but many people have parks and other green spaces. Reverse your circles. And then I have what we call making dal. So you're going to, like your arms are straight. You imagine you have this big giant tureen or big giant pot and you're stirring. And use your core as you come forward and up, forward. And then reverse. I also have two quotes which I'll read as we're doing our yoga practice. They're both by John Muir. And then releasing. And you have a side bend. So let's first bend one knee. It shouldn't matter left or right, bending one knee. And we'll side bend towards the straight leg. So John Muir says the clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. And to that, I add the clearest way into the universe is also through your yoga practice and forest wilderness. Your meditation, your presence, and your clear mind. come up and then twist towards the belly. So twisting, nice long spine, and look to the space behind you. And again, as you're in your rotation, I'll read the second and last quote. Everybody needs beauty as well as bread. Everybody needs places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. We're going to release and take it the other direction. So reversing, and we'll come towards the straight leg. Keep both sitting bones down and try not to look down. This is more about coming over pure side movement. And breathe. It's an invitation to breathe. Come up and twist. So opposite hand to opposite knee, and looking back, long spine, have that sense of from tailbone to the crown of the head, nice long spine. And think of your nose is the very center of your face. So think it as if you could bring your nose to look to the back of the room. All righty, and we come out. Go ahead and come on out. And then from here, so we're going to be doing sun salutation soon, but there's a lot of forward bending and there's lots of arching. So we'll look at some of those poses on our backs. Have your strap handy. And first off, we'll look at bridge. So feet are flat onto the mat. Elbows are bent. Take a deep breath in. Lift. And as you come into it, you're really using your glutes, using your strong legs. And then clasping hands, tuck shoulders underneath, lift through your pelvis, opening front of the spine. And then release. And as you release, good, come out and hold knees to chest. And then come to happy baby. So reaching through your feet, go wide, and move. You can rock, some like to rock, some like to stay center. And then, so on this next one, so we're going to start with outer hip, eventually going to using the strap, okay, for hamstrings. So you've got, you have your right foot is both hands holding the right foot. There's a 90-degree bend at your right knee. And you could go like side, as if you have catcher's mitts in your hands, and as if your foot is a little baseball. And you're going from left to right. Back and And when you go across, when left hand holds the foot, again, 90-degree bend, it's super important. You're going to go across and your hip is lifting, your right hip is coming up, and you're going to go all the way across so that maybe your right foot touches the floor. I heard that. Maybe it's just a thought. And then come across, right hand holding the foot, and you're trying to, you might have to lift your, I lift my left hip to go there. It's like you're trying to get your leg, the top of the leg to touch down. Yeah. back and forth, across as far as you can go, and then out. Okay. One more each side. Yeah, you might feel a little roly-poly going back and forth. I do. It's like, woo, just roll in, and it should feel playful. And then holding the foot with both hands, take a breath in, lift your head, take your head to or towards your foot. And the moment you've been waiting for, you're going to stretch your leg. Okay, let's go ahead. And if you can hold your foot, great, or use your strap. And stretching, we're going to just really take a moment here to lengthen, stretching the leg. Yeah. So it's fine if you are really tight, you feel like you have to bend your left knee, that's fine, or many of you are fine just extending and breathing. Now, you know, those online, if I could come to you, I would give your leg that's on the floor a little tug. And those who are here are going to get a little tug. Someone get a tug. Make sure you're breathing. This is a new meaning to leg. And window. Yeah. This is when getting your leg forward is okay. And then we're going to switch sides. So now let's we start out with a half lotus. So no strap, I think maybe no strap. Some of you might need to use a strap if you're really tight. So remember, it's really important. Your left knee is 90 degrees. That way, we get right into the outer hip and you start playing catch with your foot. Side, side. And then you go a little wider, right? So when my right hand holds the left foot, I'm going to bring the foot across. Maybe the foot touches down. You can turn your head to the left. And then when left hand holds left foot, my right hip comes up a little bit as I try to take the outside leg down. That's good. And oh. Mm-hmm. Back and forth. And then now we're going to go ahead and straighten the leg. Okay, so once you straighten the leg, this is where the straps might come in very handy, or maybe you can hold your foot and you're extending, you're pushing up through the heel. Good. And I know some really need the right knee bent. That will make it a little easier. And then that's also a cue for me, those of you are going around and adjusting, that I'll think, I'm not going to pull that leg. It's bent. So that's would tell me you're not ready for that, right? So here you are pushing up, stretching into your leg, and breathe. And all of us, you know, whether I'm there, you know, in person with you or not, you're imagining that you can like really send the leg that's on the floor, send it like away from your hip. You're stretching. You don't realize how jammed the hip joints are until you get your leg. Okay, and then release and come on out. That's good. All right, so we've got a little rock and roll, and not everybody likes rock and roll. Not everybody can do plow. Like plow, just thinking about it, like get you super nervous looking at the clock, wondering if it's time to exit. Okay, so I show ways to modify, right? So let's start out with sitting and have the feet are together. You're in bound angle, and you're really trying to straighten your back and feeling the stretch already. Some of you can come forward, Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Okay, and then I'm going to show the modified form first, right? So if you're modifying, you come onto your back. We're all going to modify first time around. If you're going to extend, and you can just keep your legs up in the air like so. You can reach for your ankles, for your feet, maybe each time you have a strap nearby. And then you come up again. And this, every time we come up, it'll be something different, right? So now you've got your legs extended, reach up, inhale, and come forward. So you're reaching for your legs. It's a deep hamstring stretch. And maybe you can't reach for your feet, you're reaching for your ankles. Okay, take a breath in, try to keep your back elongated. Exhale. And then either you're going to have your legs up in the air again, or you're going to go for your plow. Now, plow, you don't have to go all the way over. And some will. Some will take one leg at a time or both legs into plow. Don't look left or right. Just look straight up in your legs. Roll out, come on up. And once you come up, you're going to go wide. You're going to go wide and lower. Some of you are like, ooh, holding something, come forward more, breathing in. Exhale. And then we come back, bringing legs closer in. Your variation, come over and breathe. And then come up, and then you're coming to a twist. So it could be right leg coming across, left leg straight, or bending both knees, half spinal twist. With the right leg is on top, left arm reaches up and across, and you twist. I just made a discovery: plow and facial mask don't work well together. And we're gonna, this is really for all of us, but especially for Wally. We're gonna go into boat. So you can go into boat. You might hold. You might say, "Wow, I've got to modify it." Or you extend, push out from the ball of the foot, extending, and breathe. Inhale, exhale, and then twisting the opposite direction. Same variation. Reach up, inhale, and twist. Come on out. And the last one, the last plow or legs up into the air, coming back. Breathe. And then lower, come on up. You survived the rock and roll, the era of rock and roll. Let's come to child's pose. So we're transitioning. Some of you might want knee padding as you come to child's pose. And arms are forward, head down. And feeling, you know, it's a good portion of the session, what I kind of call, like warm up, so you're warming up to bigger movements, let's say. So I think of child's pose as kind of diagnostic. You're looking inside and going, okay, wow, well, my back's feeling pretty good, or ooh, that place is tender. You're gleaning information. You're gleaning information. Your body is talking to you, and you're listening right now, and you're observing, and you're not judging. That's the hard part. You're not judging. You're just saying, okay, where we're at. And then come to onto hands and knees. Cat-cow, looking around into your back, and inhale, arch. You could keep doing cat-cow, or take right knee to nose, knee to forehead, and then right knee comes up, tiger. Lift your leg up high, and then in, exhale. And again, you might keep doing tiger back and forth, or maybe left hand reaches for right foot. You never know, you could be low, or kick the leg back and move forward. Good, nice. Yeah, looking ahead of you if you're doing tiger, that's it. That's the pose. And then release, let's round the back and do the other side. Left knee in, and left knee comes up. Lift up high. Exhale, knee in. And yes, going at your pace, you're matching your breathing. You're exhaling as you dome your back, and inhaling as you lift. And then some are reaching right hand, left ankle, good work. And then if you have the pose and you're looking forward and you got it. That's it. Breathing. Exhaling. Nice. Ooh, release. And we have downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide. Come up and pedal. Bend one knee, press opposite heel down. Back and forth. Some of you might find that you really want to straighten the legs. That's fine as well. And then I'll make my way around the room. And then if I come to you, you'll want to straighten your legs. And then let's go ahead, walk to the front end of your mat, walking to the front end of your mat. And once you're at the front end of your mat, take a moment, you're gonna take your hands to elbows, your feet about hip distance apart, hands to elbows, and let yourself hang. Feel the weight of your head. Feeling the weight of your torso. And then we're going to slowly make our way up. To make your way up, swing the arms up into the air, lift, arch back, and hands to heart center. Okay, so another really great way to come into your forward bends is have a block. And it's amazing how this works. So if you've got two blocks, one block can be down, one that you reach for, and even if your hamstrings are pretty loose, you'll like this. And then we'll be going into sun salutations. So it's right above my knees, and I'm squeezing. It teaches me how to use my inner thighs, how to use pelvic floor muscles, how to look at my feet and not let my feet go kind of Charlie Chaplin-ish, but I don't know if that's a word, or parallel. And then let's first start with side bend. So reach left or right, doesn't matter. You're gonna reach for one hand, that's it. And good, and notice it's that much more intense because your legs are active. And intense is actually not a bad word. Good. And you're kind of like you're making a crescent shape, and then come up and the other side, hold and shift and breathe. I know the block feels so weird, doesn't it? And then we're going to come to the forward fold. So here you go. Soften your knees. It's fine. You can still bend your knees with the block in place. And then once you're here, you're going to notice, wow, the block actually lets your sitting bones widen when you come forward. They're supposed to. They're designed that way. But sometimes they get stuck. The block helps them to get unstuck. So there you go. There's movement. You'll feel this as a low back stretch, as a hamstring stretch. And then maybe you can straighten your legs, but it's okay if you don't, because this is just as much about low back as it is about your hamstrings. And then come on up and swing the arms out to the sides, all the way up, and hands to heart center. Okay, block is down. And we've got sun salutations. What I usually do is I'll face this way, so kind of see. Did you know that, I know you've done sun salutations so many times, I'm sure, there are like dozens of variations. So if you take with a different teacher, they're going to teach it differently. And I'll do one that I usually do, and then I'll do one a different way that one of my teachers taught me. Variations. And usually they're done 6 fast, 6 slow. We're not doing 6, we'll be here another hour. We're not doing 12. Okay, so 6 slow, 6 fast. And then the other thing is each one has a mantra. They all have mantras. We're not gonna do the mantras, we'll save that for workshop. But it's like Om Goodbye Namaha, greetings to the ball of fire in the sky. Yeah, and there's all these. They're really cool. Actually, they're ancient. Greetings to the glowing egg in the sky. I mean, there's like really, they are kind of cool. So, anyways, here we go. Hands are to heart, and you're standing in mountain, feeling strong. Reach up, inhale. Your feet can be apart or together. Lift. Arch that. And I know what you're doing. You're breathing the ball of fire in the sky. Yep. And then bending the knees and coming down. And then you decide you want to straighten or not. Lean into your forward fold. Release the back of the neck. And then look ahead of you. Extend, draw your belly in, lengthen, and fold the knee. Right foot steps back. You're a double track. You want to be on a double track, like cross-country ski tracks. And just to add a little spice to things, you're going to bring your arms back, like your wings and their back, and you're going to make this long line from your back heel to your head. And you're going to bring the arms forward if you can, and you're loading a little weight onto your left. And then lower. Now bring your back heel down. Arms come up. Palms initially together. That's more classical action. Hands together. You can separate. Pretend to separate. Can you fine tune? A little fine tuning. So 90-degree bend at the knee. Easier is your feet are closer together. More intense. Wide apart. Breathe in. Exhale. Hands to heart and downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide and press in your mind's eye, remember what it was like to have the block in place? And so it reminds you to be really active with your inner legs. You're active as well as stretching. There's a core integrity. And then we'll come forward. I'm going to bring the feet together, coming forward into this plane, and feel yourself. And then notice, sometimes you're like, I know I'm in an inclined plane, and you look and go, no, I'm not. So, or feeling where you're supposed to be, feel. Lower all the way onto the belly. Elbows brush against the ribs as you lower. Extend the feet. Press hands into the mat and press over. Earthbound, but also able to climb trees, lift, and move. Twice more. Inhale. And inhale up. Last one. And lower. So there's a little retention at the end, right? Now you're going to cross your right ankle over left. We're just adding a little something. And you're going to squeeze the legs in. So they're not bent. Knees are not bent. They're straightened. And you're lifting. And then you're going to lift your arms. So your legs are doing a lot of in a sense, it's one of the few times I'll say, come on, almost like you're walking out. And then what happens without straining your neck? Like either your bird or a fish, they both seem to have something in common in terms of sometimes swimming and feel like flying. Reach forward. Ooh, and back. Rest your forehead down. And reverse the leg crossing. Left ankle over the other. So yeah, I'm really not bending my knees. I'm extending and I'm lifting. The pelvis, or maybe even the pivot is kind of like a pivot point. And then reach back. This is good for your back. Wow, we got some strong backs. And reach the arms out. And maybe forward. I look down so I don't strain my neck. And then forward. And then back. And lower. Bring your forehead down. And breathe. So I got that. I mean, I can swim. I would say it's like my strongest. You know, I love swimming, but it's not like my strong suit. Let's just say. And my husband Rick loves to swim. His nickname. Oh, you didn't know this, Howard. Is Dolphin Boy. When he was growing up, he was Dolphin Boy. He grew up on the Sound, swimming in the Sound, if you can believe that, Dolphin Boy. So I asked him once why. Let's come back, child. We'll stretch it this time. What do you love so much about swimming? He said it's the closest thing to flying. I love that. I wish I could feel that when I'm swimming, but. He does not scuba dive. He snorkels. Yeah, he should dive. Definitely should be scuba diving. Downward facing dog, and the journey continues. Good. So I think of this journey as a circuit. It's like being on a, you have a beginning, you have an ending, and you're going to end where you began. You're going to end where you took that first step. Take your right leg up into the air. Look at your hands, swing your shoulders forward, lift your hip to go there, and some find that you really have to come on your knees to do that movement. Yeah, it's about hip mobility. So that's, yeah. Okay, here we go again. We're going to be birds. Okay, so you reach your arms back and reach. So you're loading some weight in here to really make sure that your knee and ankle are in alignment. And we're going to bring the arms forward, but breathing in. Big long line from heel to fingertips. Then bring your hands down and adjust your back heel. And come up. So that previous pose should not hurt your knees. If it does, then The alignment is a little off, right? And extend. Warrior embodiment of strength. And step forward. Feet together, unless you want to slip a block in place, if that was nice for you, and just take a moment in your forward bend. Notice your feet. Are you heel heavy or front foot heavy? Can you distribute your weight more evenly? And then soften the knees, sweep the arms up, hands reaching up and back, and hands to hearts. So the second variation, there's just one I want to show because when you're in it, you like trying to watch, and it's a little more unusual. Some of you know it. I call it. I imagine it's like you create a tunnel. You're waiting for the train to pass. Train passes, and the tunnel collapses. So that you know, you got crazy. You're like, oh, I remember her talking about that. I remember doing that. Okay. So it goes like this. You're in plank, you're gonna watch first, and then knees come down. And your chin comes down. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So I really don't, I like my teeth, though you can't see them, I kind of like them. So I don't want to, drop down. So I'm gonna try to move forward. So you'll see, I'm not gonna just drop down, but you're at plank, knees down. I move forward, my chin comes down. I got a tunnel, up, train just went by, drop down, and come up. Elbows slightly bent or not. Okay. And on and on. So it looks easy, right? Okay. So front of the mat, I'll be facing this side now. Hands at the heart. Inhale, reach up. You're all warmed up. So you're like, oh, okay, reaching and just feeling a little freer. Bend the knees, come down. And then straighten your legs. And it's all forward, back, forward, back. That's why it's important that we do some side bending and some twist to have all the natural body movements in. Left foot back, left knee down. This is where you might want a little padding, and some people just like, they'll just pull their mat over, or maybe you're okay. And guess what? This is as far as you go. You don't even take your arms up. In fact, in this one, I'm really actually trying to take my knee beyond the line of the ankle. I can do that because my hands are on the floor. The other way you could do this is have blocks. It's hip flexor. And then you lengthen your spine and you look up. So isn't that a weird one? It's like everything tells you never bring your knee beyond, but if you're folding, you're okay, as long as your knee is all right. Look up. Remember Ricardo? Does anybody remember teacher Ricardo? He could get his whole thigh down on this. I do not know how he did that. Like his whole thigh would touch it. I've never seen that before. Pretty impressive. Maybe lift your heart center without like jamming your neck. Ooh. And then move the blocks out of the way. We're going to come back to plank. Oh, you're going to make a tunnel. Knees down. Elongate the front of your neck. Bring your chin down. Chin and knees and hands touching. Oh, train just went by. Drop down. And ooh, that helped to watch it. And Hatha asana, your pelvis up in the air, your hands move forward, head down. And move. Downward facing dog. And some will be on the knees to do this, or left leg up in the air, left foot forward, right knee down. Your blocks might be your best friend here. Best friends. And then again, it's fine. If you have to be back here, if that's where your hip takes you, good. Somebody can go deeper as long as your hands are supporting you and your knee says it's okay. Very nice. And like no one's holding tension. The shoulders is great. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Shake that. Look up, lift your heart center. Yeah, and then go back again. We've got another tunnel. Okay, so you're gonna go back. Legs are together, knees down, pelvis is in the air, and your chin comes down. You're gonna have a little weight on your chin, on your hands, on your knees. Oh, training it by tunnel collapses and up you go.
So when you're doing that, you just
No? Yeah, just your chin. And then press back, walking your hands forward, forehead down, and breathe. Exhale. Downward facing dog. There you are, stretching back. And then we end where we began. We're going to walk or spring forward. Walking is fine. And there you are. Look ahead of you. Extend your back. Ardha Uttanasana. Hold. Soften the knees. Swing the arms out to the sides. Come all the way up. Palms touch. Arch down. And hands to heart center. Nice. So, you know, there's a lot of this in yoga, right? So there's an opposite. You take your hands in, take your hands in, and you, that's all. It doesn't take much. I mean, you can't lower your elbows any. You're basically going like that, but there you go. Yeah, your palms facing out. Oh, my eyes are closed. There's another story here. It's like I was in the Peace Corps in Senegal, and this is what the kids did. They weren't doing yoga. They did this. Mbat. They said mbat. I refuse. That's what they did. Mbat. You ask them what their name is. They mbat. They don't want to tell you your name because they don't want to be singled out, because it's bad luck to be singled out. So, what's your name? Mbat. I refuse to tell you. It's like, what are they doing with the chicken arms? Release. And here we're doing it. Okay. Come on now. The worst thing you can do is ask somebody how many children they have. The worst thing in the world. It's like it's bad luck. You know. Why are you asking? All right. So just take a moment here to sit. Thumbs to index fingers. Long spine. Breathe. That, of course, is in Senegal, to ask someone how many children they have in Senegal, because we don't want to bring attention to children. It's bad luck. Take your arms out to the sides and wrap your right arm over the other. Wrap. And bring your chin, chest. So it's kind of weird. Your arms are up. Again, another one hard to do with a face mask. Elbows are up. Your head is down. Your face is kind of cradled between the arms. And then circle. One circle in each direction. Big old circle. And circle the opposite direction. And open it up. And then do the other. Left arm over the other. If it's hard for you to hug for a moment, and then we go into it. So when our elbows are up, your head drops down. It's like you're cradling your face. You want to open between shoulder blades and neck, and then circle in one direction once, and then circle the other. and release. We have, it's either a tabletop or plank, reverse plank. So I'll do tabletop. Again, we'll do two of them. You can do both or one. So elbows, draw your knees up and press. Make a tabletop onto your body. Safest probably for the neck is chin to chest. If you have neck issues or you look up at the ceiling or you tilt your head back, your neck's table. Lower. Bye. Chicken arms. And then hands facing in, breathe in, feet are together, or you could bend your knees again, or reverse plank. The toes pointing away from your body. And lower. Roll out the wrists. Either threading the needle or pigeon, you decide. Threading the needle, easier for some knees, hip joints. And then if you're going into pigeon, I like to come in and come down and facing up. You don't have to. Let's go ahead and switch sides. I think that's about even. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and come out. Usually from pigeon, you go back to downward facing dog and then shavasana. Yeah, can you believe it? I don't know. I wonder from your perspective, that goes quickly or slowly. I suppose quickly. For me, it goes super fast. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. How could that be? So you're gonna lie on your backs, and those in studio, I will turn the sconces on, but it gets pretty dark on for the iPad. And so if you ever want to grab a towel, we can always put a towel over your eyes. Completely relax your body. Find yourself tuning in, relaxing the length of your spine. In your mind's eye, I would love for you to see green. Imagine yourself surrounded by green. As today's session is dedicated to really nature, forest, and wilderness. And we know that green is very soothing to the optic nerve. Green is very healing. Nature is healing. Trees give off chemicals that fight cancer, that relax us. It's amazing, and it's measured, it's researched. And then there's also research that shows children in a learning situation in the classroom, if there's green paint on the walls, green boards, they will absorb information more readily. They will learn more deeply. It's amazing. So right now, just see green. Actually, the color of the heart chakra is green. Imagine a forest, an emerald forest. And in John Muir's words, everybody needs beauty in addition, as well as bread. We need beauty, we need to eat as well. We need places to play in and to pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. Begin to move the hands and feet. Now, you know, you always have that option. Definitely at home, you know, I know a lot of you don't get up for for the Om. And people tell me like, I just stay. But, you know, and that's always your option. Or maybe you're like just slowly resurfacing, ready to roll to one side and making your way to sitting for the Om. And those online, you're welcome to turn on your video, your audio,